Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now, this beer review, by the way, is actually being done in Scotland. Although it sounds like fucking beer out outside because it's the 5th of November, if you don't remember. And yeah, it was, it's a bit kind of mental out there. All the fuckwits with lighters in their hands going, give me something light, you know what I mean? The fuckwits and the twats. So I think half of Parliament is actually out of there, Pick anyone, members of Parliament, fuckwits and idiots. There we go. But anyway, today we're on a Scottish beer and it's a Sunday video. Yes, it is. Yeah, I know what you're sitting there thinking, he never learns. But saying that though, we have had a good beer from this brewery before. Not that long ago actually. Bring Out the Imp was from this brewery. So we're at the Spey Valley Brewery and we're doing SVB Supernova Imperial Stout 7.6%. Any spiel? Oh, of course there is. Brewed in Scotland. There you go. Enjoy. No, there's probably a bit more. What's this? From an imperial galaxy not so far away, a radiant fusion of hops, malts, and energy brings you Supernova Imperial Stout, a deep roasted brew with soft chocolate notes and a light velvet finish. There you go. Please drink responsibly and do not rub it on your body. Keep it away from your nan. Or is it nanny? Anyway, can't remember. Oh, I've got an itch in here. Oh, right. Shall we pop the lid off of this as I reach up to get the implement of happy or sadness? How is everyone, by the way? Having a good evening? You're probably outside fucking about with your fireworks. That of putting out the flames in your garden shed. Anyway. Pour this in a nice way. Oops, fucked off this. Oof. Oh, there's no heating that, boys. Oof. Oof. Somebody's pulled the heat off. Anyway, it's a Scottish joke. It's a Scottish beer. There we go. There's a Scottish beer, can't you? Look. Glass of Coke, anyone, sir? Glass of Coke, sir? Fancy that? Oh. Pint of char. Anyway, yes, it's marvellous. It's got some sort of coordinates on it. I don't know if that's the coordinates of the brewery and that type of stuff. You can see, look. Marvellous. I'll sleep better now knowing that, by the way. It said any other shit on it. Oh, it's a beer. In fact, a little salt in it. That's an Andrews lag there. Marvellous. Yes, you get the shit. Anyway. My life is getting sad. I'm starting to realise that not only am I starting to kind of follow my father's lead, I'm actually turning into my father. I'm also now kind of starting to turn into my mother as well. I don't think, we've noticed, we've seen the shadows of the saggy bibs. No. Apart from that, although I don't think my mum had saggy bibs like that. Not as much as mine anyway. But anyway, apart from the breasts situation, I'm struggling to find things to watch on YouTube. Because there's just a lot of piss. Like I say, it's like we've been invaded by dumb fucks, and some of the videos and some of the what what YouTube is putting forward as suggestions is like, seriously. I mean, how fucking stupid do you honestly think I am? YouTube, fairly obviously, but now it's the case as though recently they must think I've had a lobotomy or something, for fuck's sake, So I've been looking at other things, I've obviously been looking through the, Prime Video and Now TV and everything else, and looking through Netflix. And with all the options that they bring, and also Paramount as well, Paramount Plus, for fuck's sake. So, Christ, I've just listed a load of streaming channels that have a plethora of choice and options. And what I've ended up watching in the last 3 nights in a row, and it'll probably be again tonight, is Foyle's War. That's what I'm fucking watching, is Foyle's War. Now, if you've not known about Foyle's War, Google the bastard thing if you're outside the UK. But it's like a kind of... It's kind of similar to the kind of Miss Marple kind of detective series, but it's this chief inspector, and it's during the war, and he's quite prim, and there's always a bit of morality going on, it's all based around about morals and things like that. And it starts off obviously just at the start of the Second World War, and I think it kind of goes on just past once it's finished, so it kind of covers the war period as it obviously starts to become more intense, and then obviously how the country has to recover a bit. So it's kind of covering two kind of aspects. It's like covering the kind of the criminal kind of investigation aspect, but also kind of marking different points in that history in that period. So there you go. And yeah, Foyle's War. That's what I'm fucking watching. Fucking hell. Scary thing is, I'm actually enjoying it. Says a lot about modern day programs, eh? And I think they initially started filming Foyle's War in 2002, and then did 9 series. For fuck's sake, it was there for a while. Because each episode's an hour and a half, for fuck's sake. That's fucking time I'll never get back. And yeah, it went on for 9 series and finished in 2015. Fucking hell. Yeah, I know. Fucking... I don't know what's happened to me now, by the way. I'm not even fucking drinking. I'm not even really drinking when I'm doing it, for fuck's sake. Although I've got to admit, every time they basically open a drink, actually in the programme, I start getting the sweats thinking, pour me one, you know what I mean? They never do. Anyway, should we smell this? A bit of molasses. Kind of chocolate bitter tones. Kind of chocolate nibs, as they say. Chocolate nibs. And little hints, little accent with molasses. And there you go. That's all you're getting, sir. If you want any more, take a sip. Which I will do. Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. Molasses meets chocolate. Hello. I thought this is chocolate. This is molasses. That's it. Good night. Get up, yeah. I'm off. Yes, it's nice. It's very rich, strong in body as well as alcohol, and yeah, it's got really 2 main predominant flavours, which is molasses kind of sweetness, and kind of obviously molasses kind of sweetness stroke bitterness, and dark chocolate bitterness. And there you go. It's actually quite nice. So it's not complicated, but it doesn't really have to be when obviously it's quite a full-bodied beer with plenty of body, and there's a kind of obviously a bit of richness to it, because we do that with that kind of... You're never going to get a light beer at 7.6%. So you're going to have to add more, and you're also going to have to ferment it longer and blah blah and everything else, to get a beer like that. So as part of that, you're going to get... Although what I would say, maybe expected to get a little bit more complexity. But no, it's Quite simple and quite clear. I'm sure, I'm now thinking, I'm sure Chief Inspector would love a glass of this. In fact, it's quite similar to some of the beer that has been bandied about in the programme. Not ahead, well, I suppose hops would have been a premium during the Second World War. Well, it's a fucking premium in Scotland at the moment as well. But yeah, you're not getting any alcohol. It's quite a rich beer, and there's plenty of body. So, and you get some nice molasses tones as well as these kind of chocolate, kind of bitter nib tones. And because of that, you don't even notice the alcohol. Let's be totally honest. You're not really kind of registering that. And yeah, right now, it's actually quite a nice, pleasant drink. Anybody else kind of notice that? With all the options we've got, I mean, if you're kind of my age or older, you would have initially grown up with the 3 channels, which at the time was BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV, depending on what area of the country you're in. You'd have been kind of one of the local kind of substations of ITV. So of course you would still have your kind of prime ITV, but of course being in Scotland we would have got STV, and then of course in different areas you'd have got different kind of connotations of that. And then there was all a big hoo-ha when Channel 4 came out, and it was quite arty-farty when it first came out. And, at my age at that time, I'm not watching that piss. It's just rubbish. And my parents weren't into that either, you know what I mean? And then, of course, although in saying that, I think one of my sisters was into the Tube. I couldn't get into the Tube because I had that bloody pain in the arse woman that was basically... Jules Holland, I think he wasn't too bad on the Tube. But the problem is, he couldn't pronounce his R's, and coming from Scotland, you think, he just sounds like a fop. I mean, he's not a fop, he's actually an alright guy, you know what I mean? I've actually seen him live and doing one of his shows, Choose It Tonight, and with Jules Holland or something like that. One of them shows that was actually in the studio when they were filming it, and he was talking to the audience. He was actually quite funny and things like that, but just when he was younger and on the Tube, he just sounded a bit foppish. And then you had that tart next to him, you know what I mean, that one that married Bob Geldof and ended up having an affair with the lead singer of INXS, Paula Yates. I honestly couldn't understand why anybody found that attractive. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't have pissed on it if it was on fucking fire. I could understand why she married Bob Geldof, because looking at the state of Bob Geldof and looking at the state of Paula Yates, I could understand why they kind of found solace in each other, because I don't think any of them could have done any better than what they had. So yeah, I never found Paula Yates attractive in any way, and I certainly didn't find her sexy. And the guy Hutchinson, that was the lead singer of INXS, that was pumping her on the side. I thought he could have done a lot better, seriously. I was quite disappointed. He kind of went down in my estimations after that. I kind of thought, seriously. Saying that, I wasn't a big fan of their music, I think there was only 2 songs that I could suffer. All the rest I just felt was pish. And then after that, I think we finally got Channel 5, which was, well, Jesus, we thought Channel 4 was fucking bad when it started, and then we got Channel 5 and we realised tea without a budget doesn't actually work. And marvellous. when your favourite show was cancelled, 6 months later it'll appear on Channel 5 with a lesser budget and even more annoying fucking presenter. And it helps to kind of, you deal with the loss because you're glad that it's gone. That type of thing. So yeah, quite bad actually. And then of course we've got all these wonderful streaming options and everything else. These marvellous streaming options that after a while you think, oh, it's like Christmas every day. Oh, movies and serials and programmes and everything else. But now things are kind of settled down. They're all basically trying to teach you a fucking life message. They're all basically, there's the big message, and that type of stuff. Everybody's got to be gay or lesbian and everything else, and it's just always kind of trying to deliver some sort of message, and you're thinking, for fuck's sake, seriously. And I think that's probably why I'm kind of drawn to the kind of older series now, because I can't watch any of the new stuff, because one, I feel that the acting's pretty shite. And I'm just sick of this bloody kind of there's some sort of moral message they're trying to ram down your throat in each episode, and you think, oh, fuck off. Oh, then of course you've got the mind-numbing kind of series, of these kind of thrillers or action kind of series or action movies and thrillers, where you've got all these kind of cliffhangers at every episode, and you think, it'll just be some ridiculously lame way you got out of it, in the start of the next one, you think. Oh. And the movies, Mr. Netflix, is it not that bugger from the boy band? What's his name? Got a burger chain. Oh, what's his name? He was in the Back Passage Boys. Oh, sorry, it was the Backstreet Boys or something, I can't remember now. Anyway, there's a certain action kind of movie stars that are constantly on Netflix, and then of course Prime's kind of lost. They don't have the Grand Tour at the moment, so they're kind of lost. So Jesus God, just lost, to be totally honest. Mark Wahlberg, he's the one, Mr. fucking Netflix, him and the fucking Rock. Seriously, the two of them are fighting out to who's going to star in the next fucking Netflix movie. It's unbelievable. Jesus God, I can't stand any of them. For fuck's sake. They're both a pair of tits. With a pair of tits. Anyway, so we get back to the beer, but yeah. If you're at a loose end, you get nothing to do. Flowers War. It's on Netflix. There's my tip. Enjoy. Oh, it's a nice little swig, that. Oh, it's actually quite nice. It's like gravy. It's just nice, it's like, you get some really good gravy. Rich, good gravy. Yeah, you could drink it. You could fucking drink. Well, this is like this. Get a similar richness. Down that though. You add this. If you're preparing your meat for a pie, what is it? Well, when I was growing up, when I was preparing my meat for a pie, I was giving it quite clear in a wee spray of deodorant, you know what I mean? But anyway, you know what I mean. If you're doing a kind of rich kind of cubed steak, kind of stew type of thing, or a pie filling, a meaty pie filling. Jesus, it sounds fucking bad, no matter which way I say it. Then yeah, this would be good. It'd be good for a steak and ale pie. This would give it a bit of fucking richness. Seriously, it really is. Which is probably the best way to describe it. I'll break down the flavours, but that's probably the best way of describing it. But it's a perfect tasting ale to be used for your steak and ale pie. Far better than your Guinness and everything else. I mean, this is just bags of flavour, bags of body, although not a lot of different flavours, but there's bags of flavours, bags of body, and yeah, it's just fair play. They've done it right. They've not tried to make it overly complicated. They've not tried to kind of make it something special. They've just got it right, to be totally honest. And yes, it is kind of rich. It is kind of feel a bit kind of indulgent. But it also feels, as you've just seen, because I took a right good swig of it, just nicely drinkable as well. Because you don't really feel the alcohol. You don't really the alcohol doesn't really play any part. I mean, you'll see it on the label, but you're not picking it up when you're drinking it. And that's the honest way of putting it. So let's break down these flavours. Start off with, you're getting molasses. So a little bit of sweetness at the front of the mouth, and a little bit of sweetness that kind of feeds through, but kind of just a nice kind of constant, not too much. And again, it seems to be connected to the malt, so you are getting that kind of molasses tones, as well as some nice roasty grain tones at the start. But you kind of lose a little bit the kind of roasty grain kind of tones, which is kind of normal for an Imperial Stout, because the richness, the kind of two main flavours, okay, you can have other accent flavours as well, but the two main flavours as you come into the mid-tongue are the kind of molasses, that kind of richness, that kind of indulgence, which gives you a little bit of kind of yin and yang, so it gives you a bit of sweetness and a bit of bitterness at the same time. And you should be getting kind of either chocolate kind of bitter nib tones, or you're getting, if it's slightly on the lighter side, you start getting kind of espresso kind of coffee bitterness. But depending on how they're working it, they're the kind of flavours that you should be getting. Anything else is just kind of accent flavours, which of course, depending on how you play it, you can add accent flavours to it to kind of add it a bit more complexity to it. This doesn't have it. It's just bang on the button. You get some really nice molasses tones from basically right all the way through the mid-tongue. You're getting nice kind of, really quite indulgent kind of chocolate bitterness all the way through the mid-tongue. And you just maybe get a little rise of the bitterness just as it's transferring from the back of the mid-tongue to the back of the mouth in the aftertaste. And then everything just kind of dissipates quite cleanly. And it just feels like you've had a moment of, oh, that's nice. And then, there you go. Which does kind of make it a bit moreish, because you think, I enjoyed that. You think, I want that again. So you have a drink, you take another sip, and you get, I enjoyed that. And it's like the old typewriter, ding, you know, ding, you know, and it's like that. It's like ding, ding, when you're drinking it, and it just makes it very pleasurable. I could honestly see myself with a couple of these, you know. I'm not you know what I'm going to say. Sitting watching Followers War and being an absolute fucking happy land. Oh fuck, I'm turning into my mum and dad. Jesus Christ. You know, people have already said I'm starting to look like my mum, and so I've trimmed the beard a bit. You know what I mean? But yeah. It is actually a very honest and very nice Imperial Stout. It really is very nice. That's two traditional stouts they've done, two high alcohol traditional stouts, and they've got it spot on. I mean, seriously, they really have. It's like they understand less is more, but they've got the more bit at the right bit. You know, it's just, we don't have to have loads of complex flavours, but we have to have good, bold, solid flavours, and a good body to match and everything else. And yeah, it's just... it's an absolute pleasure to drink, it really is. Maybe a little bit sweeter than what you'd maybe normally think or expect. But it works well because you've got such a good molasses flavour to it that it really does work. That little bit more sweetness than you would normally get just works because you've got such a kind of clean, vibrant kind of molasses, kind of black treacle kind of flavour to go along with it, and it just works, it carries it. And yeah, excuse me, yeah, if you haven't realised, like Files of War, I actually like this quite a lot. I really do. I'm trying to remember what it was cost, and I'm going to try and fucking find it out. Where did I fucking buy this? Excuse me. Oh God. I'm trying to think, did I buy it in Aldi or was it Lidl? I honestly can't fucking remember. Did I buy it in Aldi, Lidl, or Home Bargains? Now I look like a classy guy, you know what I mean? If I was basically, you know, single and on the hunt, you know, by my going to be a catch. You know, where do you buy your beer? I don't know. Is it fucking Home Bargains, Lidl, or Aldi? You know what I mean? What a glass of wine, love. You know? Yeah. You can be a catch for some bastard. Probably an old fisherman. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to remember where I fucking got this. I'm not actually sure. I think it was Aldi. But I could be telling you an absolute load of bollocks. I don't think I got it from any other supermarket. So it'd have to be one of them three. And I don't think I got it from Lidl. So it'd have to be Aldi or Home Bargains. But I can't remember buying this in Home Bargains because I was too busy basically filling my arms with the love lane love. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it might be Aldi. But I will do my research. In other words, I'll look past my old receipts thinking, come on you bastard, where did you get this? You know what I mean? And I know that the first receipt I'm going to pick up is going to be B&Q, and that's just going to Fox. But I think, what the fuck did I keep that one for? Because that's the only reason why I keep receipts, is so I know where the beer's come from and what I paid for it. And I just know, because I've seen it before, and I'm thinking, why have I got a B&Q fucking receipt in amongst it? Oh, Jesus. I'm turning out my mum and dad, I really am. Fuck me, seriously. But anyway, what would I give this out of 10? Wherever it's come from, let's have to give it a mark out of 10. Christ. Oh, for such a nice beer. This has been a bit of a slog, this video. I don't know why, but yeah. I mean, there's not really much I can say about the beer apart from it's very nice and very enjoyable, and yeah, you can also cook well with it as well. You know, I mean, it'd be good for cooking, but it's all. I mean, you buy a couple of bottles, one for cooking and one to enjoy when you're cooking. You know what I mean, or a few to enjoy while you're cooking it. And I couldn't think of a better thing with a little bit of, yeah, you know, Foils War in the background. But I tell you what I give it. It's kind of spot on. Fair play to the Spey Valley Brewery, because that's 2 for 2. I'm just thinking, should I get some more to try and get a series going here? I might actually have to kind of look and start buying things directly from the brewery and see what I can get. Because Supernova is a very nice beer. And out of 10, what would I give it? I can't even remember what I paid for it, but I don't think it was then ridiculous. Probably more ridiculous if I'm buying it directly from the brewery now, if I'm trying to get any other ones. But I think it was around about the £2 mark or just over the £2 mark, and for the quality of the beer, alcohol content, everything else, trust me, not expensive compared to what prices you are when you're buying beer online. It's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? You buy direct from the breweries and Jesus, They're working to completely fucking pricing than anywhere else. I mean, seriously, they seem to think they sell you a bottle and Jesus, you're buying a premium cask fucking pint the way they're fucking charging you, you know what I mean? At London prices almost, you know? Fucking hell. I wouldn't be surprised, give it another couple of years and brewers will be charging you £5 a bottle for buying a fucking bottle of their piss. And this is the problem, because you don't know it's a bottle of piss until you bought it and tried it. You think, Jesus, another 12 of them, fucking 8, well, another 11 of them still to go. You know, it's crazy. But out of 10, what would I give this? I'm really enjoying it, and I just want to kind of try and confirm that the kind of mark that I've got in my head. Does it deserve it? Oh, it is nice. It is. I'm going to give it an 8.5. It could easily be a 9, but I don't know the price and I can't even remember where I fucking bought it. I am turning to my parents. And in all ways, by the way, Jesus God. But yes, I'm going to give it an 8.5. It is very nice, very enjoyable, very clean flavours, not overly complex, and that's not to its detriment, because these clean flavours just work, because you don't get tired of them and you appreciate how clean they are and just how vibrant they are, and they're just, you know, they've identified the two main kind of flavours as your base flavours, isn't it? Let's just do a beer with really good quality, clean base flavours, and it just shows you it works. You don't need all the kind of frivolity and the fanciness. It's the honesty, and I'll be totally honest, it's been brewed well. It's got to be decent ingredients to get that kind of clarity of flavour as well. And yeah, overall, it's an absolute spanker. It really is. 8.5%, and I would recommend it. And if I could remember where I got it, seriously, I'd buy more. For fuck's sake, seriously. I'm fucking useless, I really am. Oh god, I'm pathetic, so that's annoying, that's fucking annoying. And now as I'm sitting there thinking, my wee brain's thinking, maybe it was little. And I think he might be right, I might have got it in little, because I was in there looking for non-alcoholic beer and I ended up walking away with a bottle of that or something. And I remember walking away with a bottle of something else. Oh, for fuck's sake, seriously, I'm an absolute idiot. But anyway, it's 7.6%. It's a 500ml bottle. It's absolutely lovely. 8.5 out of 10. Could easily be a 9, but I can't remember the price, so I'm just kind of slightly holding back because of that. But I would definitely recommend it. It really is absolutely lovely. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye for now.